Where were we? Do you remember?
Done with the religion.
Alright, so let's
Next
move on to
question.
another topic. Can you explain human, I guess, sort of mating rituals? I mean, not necessarily the actual
Human
ritual, but
mating ritual.
how do you search for a mate? What do you look for in a mate?
Well, it depends on your culture. I mean, in many cultures, marriages are arranged, and parents help children choose, or they just choose for them. In other cultures, people choose themselves. In our culture, we choose ourselves. And what do I look for in a mate?
Yes.
Well, I should hope that he is somewhat intelligent on some sort of scale, whether he's artistic or whether he is really into academics. So something has to be going on up there. I don't like brain-dead jerks.
That's fair. You must find that hard being around a university then. From what I've experienced, there are a lot of brain-dead jerks.
Yeah.
And they all smell like this terrible cologne. I'm not sure what it's called. It's something
Axe.
about... Yes!
Yeah.
Why would they name it after a weapon? I mean, I've only seen axes used in the cases of lumberjacks, which I've never really met one, and axe murderers, which...
I would mate with a lumberjack.
What about an axe murderer?
No.
No.
I think lumberjacks are fantastic.
Yes?
Yes, because they work with the earth, and I think that's beautiful. It was Earth Day yesterday. It's convenient that you came on Earth Day.
I thought that it would be so much more. I thought that people would celebrate more, but it didn't.
Unfortunately,
seem like
they didn't. Mostly it's just hippies giving away free canvas grocery bags.
Explain hippies to me.
Hippies. Well, the idea kind of comes from the 1960s and 70s, where people decided, young people particularly, to push towards more conservation of the environment, less pollution, living in harmony with each other and with nature particularly. So hippies now, we kind of term that people who are very much like those flower children of the 60s and 70s. So hippies typically wear natural clothing or tie-dye, which is a fantastic idea.
I've seen tie-dye. I'm quite enamored.
Yes.
It's just so many colors on one article of clothing. I'm very impressed.
Yes.
So, I have to say that is one gigantic pro for planet Earth.
Do you have clothing on your planet? I was wondering.
We do, but you know, it's not really shaped like this because we're not that far off, but I still think
A little different.
yeah. So that I guess is an excellent segue into my next batch of questions. How do you perceive, like you see me now like this, and I look not exactly like you, but you know, same
Close
structure.
enough.
Do you how do you think? If an alien were to just land in your driveway right now, what would you expect it to look like?
Well, in realistic terms, I hadn't expected for such an intelligent life form to come visit us. I would have expected more like bacteria or viruses, small creatures, maybe like mammals, small mammals, rodents, that type of thing. Or something that was too far away. I assumed it couldn't get here, but obviously you've disproved that.
Yeah.
But
We've been around for a while. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, some stereotypical representations of aliens from outer space would be, well, you've always had the cartoon little green man with the oval head and the large eyes, which I think is ridiculous.
I find it a little offensive.
Yeah, I don't think aliens
So
actually
strange
look
to
like
group
that.
us all together too, like there's only one.
Well, if you've ever seen the Star Wars DVDs, I know you said you pirate DVDs.
I have seen those. They are fantastic films. I just found out about this one called Titanic, though. I plan to watch it later.
Yes, that one's a historical movie.
I've never seen that.
Yes, partially true.
Partially?
Yes, the romance part is not, but the historical events are pretty close.
Interesting.
But as I was saying, Star Wars, they represent a large variety of different alien life forms, which I think would probably be more accurate. Whether or not they actually look like those life forms is to be debated. That's the work of George Lucas, but I think that's more accurate to assume that life could look different on every planet. I mean, even with our own planet, we debate what life is. For viruses, for example, no DNA, and they don't call them life, but I've been attacked by enough viruses that I think they're alive. gotten sick enough times that I'm pretty sure they count.
It's a very broad category of life.
Yes.
So, I guess related, you know what you think an alien might sort of look like, but what do you think, what would you expect it to do once it got here? Pretend that you don't know about it.
Take soil samples.
Alright, so you think it would be sort of scientific?
I think so. I think that if it could get here, it would probably be looking for something in particular and would probably have some knowledge of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would probably be studying people.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be collecting, like I said, specimens, samples, things like that.
Mm-hmm. I see. So, I guess...
Maybe diplomatic relations, too.
Perhaps.
If they were knowledgeable of our political structures, they might be attempting to make contact.
I must tell you, we were all thrilled when you, as a country on planet Earth, decided to elect Barack Obama.
Yes,
This
he's
is
fantastic.
I've heard that actually other countries on your planet were very excited about this as well, so I have to say that it's not limited to your planet alone. We're very pleased. We were concerned about this guy you had before. He was a little bit, I mean, you know,
Yes.
worrisome, I suppose. That's part of the reason that we didn't really want to attempt communication, because we were concerned how he would respond, I suppose.
He might have tried to invade your planet for no good reason.
It would have been silly and he would have failed completely, but it would just turn into a diplomatic nightmare, you know.
Yes.
So
and then he would have to leave it or someone else to clean up.
We don't really particularly like war. I mean, we have it too, but you know, we try to avoid it whenever possible.
That's good.
There are our own sort of hippies on my planet.
Perhaps you could teach our people how to be less warlike.
I don't know if that would work. We're not so much less warlike than you, but in that way we're very similar. But, you know. So, I guess, can you explain to me, just sort of quickly, like, what your perception of, I've heard about this Roswell incident, can you sort of explain that to me, just like sort of the...
Well, the concept is that aliens landed in New Mexico and the government has been hiding it for decades.
Yes, at this Area 51 place?
Yes.
Yes. Do you believe in Area 51?
Not particularly.
No.
Although I do remember when I was younger, when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old in Earth years, there was a TV show on television. It was called Roswell, and it was fictional, and it was ridiculously silly. It was based on several teenagers with love interests and something about aliens, but I can't really remember the plot because it was so terrible a show. But the idea is that Roswell has permeated our culture and that we have this and that fanatics stand outside and they picket and they wait for aliens to come show up. And
so,
have aliens ever gone to Roswell to your knowledge?
Not that I know of. It wasn't us. But
perhaps you could tell the government that and all the crazed fanatics, and they could put out a press release.
Although perhaps if the government is hiding it up, then it wouldn't be any good.
No.
It might be dangerous, but I
must say that Barack Obama would probably be nice to you, though. Friendly.
He seems like a friendly guy.
Yes. Seems like you could be best buddies.
I've heard that he recently acquired this dog. We don't have these dog creatures on my planet, but they seem very friendly.
They're friendly.
Have you ever had a dog?
Yes, I've had many dogs.
Yes. And a good experience?
Yes, all good experiences.
I'm thinking perhaps I might bring one back to my planet, but I'm not sure.
It would need a steady
environment for it.
Yes, it would need a supply of oxygen and water.
We might be able to make it work out. Just have to say. Alright. So, I guess this is sort of a follow-up to the Roswell thing. Some people seem to think of it as like a sort of frightening idea, and some people seem excited about it. Do you think the concept of the sort of just like aliens appearing here would be frightening or exhilarating, or it wouldn't surprise you, or it would?
Well, it surprised me when you showed up here.
Yes.
But you were nice, so far. You haven't tried to abduct anyone.
Yes,
I'm pretty
well,
sure that,
as far as you know.
Yes, as far as I know. I feel like if aliens were coming here, they wouldn't just come snatch up some people and leave. I feel like they would be curious enough if they made the effort that they would make contact, make documentaries, collect samples of things, and study, and then go back home. I feel like they wouldn't just terrify everyone.
Alright.